So yeah, we also unlocked this. So, yeah, look. I'm sorry for those of you who do like this, but I have never liked the look of this form. Never. I much rather prefer the glyph that it allows me to keep this, but I take on an astral look. And I absolutely love that. It looks so cool compared to this. So I'm sorry, but no. Just no. Also, we are going to be using part of the outfit. This is what I could afford. I only had 2 gold on me, so the top hat, the overcoat, and the trousers. Like a good Ghanaian.
Hail, champion.
I thank you, Lornix. We can't rest on our laurels, however. We found out about a mining town currently under Forsaken occupation. We sent some of my men along with Crowley's daughter to the nearby livery stables to begin operations there. Liam should be joining them shortly. I will stay here and organize the final push for Gilneas' city. Speak to Lord Hewell to secure a horse to get you there.
We will have
Well,
justice.
Glory to
for the-
Gilneas.
A horse. A horse. My kingdom for a horse.
We must face our fears.
This is basically the mount I just showed you, the Swift Mountain Horse. Speaking of mounts, I want to go ahead and take a moment to show this off. Because I worked hard for this. Yeah. So on my max level Demon Hunter, who is geared from Heroic and Mythic Nyalotha, I was able to work through doing a bunch of this rated PvP. So in case you're curious, the way to obtain a mount like this, you have to win a certain amount of games after you've reached a certain rank in rated PvP. Don't even bother with Battlegrounds. No one ever does those. It's all about 2v2 and 3v3. And this is the first time, this was my first ever time attempting rated PvP, ever. My first season. And I was able to earn this mount. Plus, by the way, just to clarify, you also get the Horde equivalent as well. So I got this one, and I got the one on the Horde, which was the Vicious White Bone Steed, which was basically like Rivendar's Charger, except it's basically completely white, with a Horde banner on the back, flaming white hooves. Pretty awesome looking. So I'll go ahead and add it here, just to show it off, like, give you a little better look at it. Just because I felt like I really worked, really put time and work into trying to get this. So here it is. When we hop on our goblin, I'll show you the bone steed. But man, getting this mount felt very satisfying. It felt like I really had earned it. And I know some people will probably say, nah, you didn't really earn it because of all, I heard some people saying they didn't think this season actually meant anything, or that was invalid because of corruption and such. And I'm sure maybe on higher, like if you're going for like the top rank and such, fine, I can understand that. But I wasn't really caring about getting rank. I was only caring about getting the mounts. And I found out, after you've attained this, if you want to keep going, you can then earn more vicious saddles to obtain previous vicious mounts. Which I may or may not try and do. So, we'll see. By the way, no, this is not Marcus from that romance novel. This is a different Marcus. Hi, Lorna.
Make it quick.
I'm glad to have you here. We're surrounded by Forsaken on all sides, and we can use all the help we can get. We recently found out that the villagers at Emberstone survived most of the ravages of the curse. Unfortunately, their village wasn't as fortunate when it came to the Forsaken invasion. The Forsaken have taken the villagers prisoner and are forcing them to work the nearby mine as slaves. I'll try and free them.
I got a bad feeling.
I was one of the few that escaped, Lornix, when the Forsaken took over our town and our mine. They treated us with utmost cruelty. Those of us who were weak and could not endure hard labor were worked to death by the abomination known as Brothog. My wife was among his victims, Druid, and I swore that one day her death would be avenged. I am too frail now, but you can deliver justice. For my wife, for Gilneas.
That's enough gabbing for me today.
Ain't you a chipper-looking one?
I guess it's worth noting that depending either on the gender of Worgen you've chosen or the look appearance will actually change that. That's actually going to come into play in Shadowlands, believe it or not, and I'm so looking forward to that. That's going to be great. I'm not dumb, Loneeks. I know what's ahead of us. Our people are going to go through those gates and fight against an enemy that is better trained, has more numbers, and better weapons than us. Even if we succeed, it'll be at great cost. For most of us, today's meal will be the last. I cannot fight, but I sure can cook. Bring me meat from the stags that roam this area, and I will ensure that the last meal that these folks get will be their best.
Long live Greymane.
And that is true. On a couple of different ways. One, it's very likely a lot of Gilneans will not survive this day. Two, and this was something I tried to show in the Broken Shore event from Legion, many of the soldiers that were getting ready to head out with the forces towards the Broken Shore to face the Burning Legion were being offered a last meal. Now, they weren't necessarily being told it was their last meal, I think. But they had a huge layout of good food made by Pandaren chefs. Oh, I cannot wait. By the way, I cannot wait to get to our Pandaren starting zone. I cannot wait to show off that starting zone. Sorry. I'm just letting you guys know right now, I'm going to be gushing. And I mean gushing about how much I love Missa Pandaria, the Pandarans, monks, the starting zone. I'm going to be talking so about how much I love multiple things about that. If that is something that bothers you, I'm just letting you know right now, you may want to not watch those videos when we get there. Because I know that there are plenty of people out there that, for one reason or another, just either don't like Missa Pandaria or the Pandarans or whatever. And they more than likely do not like hearing people talk positively about it. I'm going to talk very positively about it. I get very defensive about Pandaria these days because of how sick and tired I am of hearing people just mock it and make fun of it and talk negatively about it when there's so much positive stuff from it. So I'm just letting you guys know right now ahead of time in this series, when we get to the Pandaren starting zone, if you don't want to hear me talk positively about it, you don't have to watch. I will not be upset or offended, and you're more than welcome to just not watch. Okay? I thank you, Lornix. Our men and women will have a last good meal before they set off for battle.
Good day.
Now let's head to that mine and free some slaves. Also take down an abomination. Don't worry, it's not nearly as strong as Patchwork. Or Stitches. I gotta give Stitches some love. I mean, he's the playable abomination in Heroes of the Storm. Of course I'm going to give Stitches some love. I love Stitches. He just wants to play. Ball and chain. The Forsaken will pay for what they've done. Yeah, probably. At least some of them will. Looking forward to to what happens in BFA, yeah, some of them do. Not all of them, though. It's true, then? Even those afflicted by the curse are fighting the Forsaken. Yeah, because I now have complete control over it. Hello there. Looks like that hunter's been clearing out the Forsaken. So it's worth noting I cannot free these until I defeat Forsaken and get keys from them. That's why I'm running past some of them, because I have to find Forsaken first. Get you out of here. Alright. It's true then? Yeah, they just say the same thing. Alright. Now we just have to take care of this abomination. Oh, oh. And so Marcus's wife was avenged. Let's see if we can sneak our way out. I think there's just no music playing right now. That's probably why you don't hear anything. It's not that there isn't any music, or it's just that it's just not playing at the moment. Be running wild.
What can I do for you?
I thank you. Our people will no longer suffer under that monstrosity's yoke.
You wouldn't want to see me when I'm angry.
What is it?
You've done it again. The freed villagers are eager to help us against the Forsaken in any way they can. The people are free, but the town is still occupied by the Forsaken. They are cut off from their main force, so if we're to drive them out, now is our chance. Their leader, Executor Cornell, is known for his unbound ruthlessness. Also among them is Valnov the Mad, a so-called scientist who carries out inhuman experiments on villagers too old to work the mines. Take care of them all. Actually, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys this mount in motion. Alright, there we go. you off, I'll top myself off. Okay.
I have many lucky doos you like. Good fortune to our
Only
friends.
78 silver.
Make it quick.
We have the people of Emberstone on our side now, thanks to you. The time has come. We have rallied and armed every available Gilnean. It is time to meet the enemy head-on. It's time to settle the score with Sylvanas and her forsaken dogs once and for all. Liam is heading the assault from his gate. King Greymane and my father are leading the assault on the other districts. You have a crucial role to play in this as well. Take this rapier. Use it to inspire our men and women in combat. Speak to Krenin to take part in the battle for Gilneas City. The Forsaken think we're weak, a broken people. They think that we'll just roll over like a scared dog.
We will fight them in the fields until the last trench collapses and the last cannon is silenced.
Where's Krenin? She said, speak to Krenin to take part. I'm like, okay, where is he?
We will fight them in the alleys until our knuckles are skinned and bloody and our rapiers lay on the ground shattered. And if we find ourselves surrounded and disarmed, wounded and without hope, we will lift our heads in defiance and spit in their faces. But we will never surrender! For Gilneas!
Charge! Yeah, that's a lot of Forsaken. See, this is why I'm like, okay, she said, speak to Krenin to take part in the battle. Okay, where's Krenin? I don't see him. Hold on.
What is it?
Oh.
We will fight them on the streets until the last shot is fired. And when there is no more ammunition, we'll crush...
No time for dallying.
Villagers were thankful to have Emberstone back. They brought us a little something to help against the Forsaken.
Okay. Oh. Let's not go that way for the moment. Catapults.
I need a target.
Yeah, that's what we're here to fight. Something that you would have seen back in Ice Crown, that Putricide would have made. Gorot. Don't back away, fight him! Fight him, I say! Come on, Crowley! Help me fight him!
Far away.
Get him, Worgen! What are you just standing there for? Fight him! Forget an ace!
Join your father's forces there. They'll need our help against Sylvanas.
Ah, yes. Oh boy. Plenty of Worgen and Forsaken fighting each other. Sylvanas.
Block their retreat, Liam! We've got them right where we want them!
I need to get closer.
Sylvanas!
Enough! Let us see how brave Gilneas gets on without stubborn leader.
Liam! No!
Such a waste. That arrow's poison was not meant to be wasted on your whelp. We will meet again. So let me see if I can recapture what was being said there. So, never mind. I got everything there. So, that was partially voice acted and partially not. Believe it or not, we actually get a recreation of that scene, and I believe it's fully voice acted in the video I made on the Gilnean, or rather the Worgen Heritage Armor questline, where as we get to come here with Tess, and she gets to relive it, trying to see whether or not if she had been a Worgen at this time, if she could have saved her brother. And, well, it's basically part of the realization for her that she didn't have to become a Worgen to be a leader for her people. And it's just a reminder of what happened to her brother. So, yeah. Oh boy. So I think this was partially affected by what happened, the fact that there were banshees here protecting her. But yeah. So she had made a very specially crafted arrow with a very special poison just for Gen. So she tried to kill Gen with that arrow, and it's poison specifically made for him because she can do that, because that goes back to Warcraft 3, where she had made an arrow with a special poison just for Death Knight Arthas. So she tried to use it, and Liam jumped in the way and took the arrow for his father. And Liam's, well, not gonna make it.
Make it quick.
We've driven the Forsaken back. We hold 3 out of the 4 districts. But at what cost? It's true then? Gilneas has lost her favorite son? We will mourn when this is all over, but not a day sooner. We will not allow ourselves the luxury of grief while the enemy still breathes Gilnean air. My father's men are ready to strike while we still have the Banshee Queen's trail. Just say the word if you're ready. Liam deserves swift justice. So now we get to keep going with Tobias. You remember him, right? Now, where is he? Let's go at once. We'll track Sylvanas down. For Gilneas. Alright, Tobias. Lead the way. Hunt for Sylvanas. Let's do our best not to be seen. Okay, then. Well, gee, I wish I could jump like that as a Worgen. Hello? Forsaken generals, devices with the blight. Make sure everything is ready. The Orc's emissary is ready to meet Sylvanas inside the cathedral. Did you hear that? Sylvanas is headed to the cathedral. Let's hurry. The same cathedral from so long ago. Quick, hide in the water. There she is. General Warhowl, who is here on behalf of Garrosh. And High Executive Crenshaw.
It appears you're losing control of Gilneas, Sylvanas. Garrosh fears he's going to have to carry out this invasion himself.
You can assure Garrosh that this is a minor setback. Our victory in Gilneas will be absolute.
You sound very confident, Your Majesty. I seriously hope you do not plan to use the plague. Garrosh has explicitly forbidden it.
You do well to watch your tone, General. Neither you nor Garrosh have anything to worry about. We've ceased all production of the plague, as he ordered. We'd never deploy it without his permission.
I will deliver my report to our leader, then. By
Go
your
with
leave,
honor,
my
General.
lady.
My lady, should I order my men to stop the deployment of the plague? Or are we to continue as planned?
What kind of question is that? Of course we're deploying the plague, as planned. Let the Gilneans enjoy their small victory. Not even their bones will remain by tomorrow.
As you...
Sylvanas Windrunner, ladies and gentlemen. Even when Garrosh, which, by the way, the fact that Garrosh is, like, vehemently opposed to using the plague is funny, but it does make sense. Because this is very valuable territory for the Horde. Getting this territory in northern, like, having this territory right here, this port. Now, yes, the Horde does have this because of the Forsaken and Silverpine, but being able to have this area here, you know, is an excellent area to be able to have territory and land to be able to help with this portion as well as another port. This is a whole port here in this area here. So being able to have access to this, you know, and have it be undamaged and such makes a lot of sense. It's just kind of funny that that's coming from Garrosh, so he's actually making a smart decision. But Sylvanas is like, yeah, forget that. We're just gonna do the plague because why should she care? She doesn't care anymore.
What is it?
The plague. Something so heinous that not even the orcs condone its use? I'd say this warrants notifying King Greymane. Tell Greymane that we have trackers on Sylvanas and tell him about the plague. The decision will be his. Launch an all-out attack against the leader of the Forsaken, or try to evacuate our survivors. Given that right now he is grieving over the fact that she just killed his son, I don't necessarily think he's in the best mindset to make that type of decision. Oh, Liam. I am so sorry, Liam. He only wanted to protect his father. I actually think let's say if Gen had died and Liam had become the new king of Gilneas, of the Gilnean people, I actually think Liam could have been an actual good king and good leader for his people. He really did care about his homeland and his people. And it's very clear that he was not affected by the curse. Never at any point did we ever see him as a Worgen. And I don't think he ever did because, well, for one thing, Tess is not a Worgen. And I'm pretty sure that Gen's wife, the queen, is also not a Worgen. He is the only one, I'm pretty sure, in their family who is a Worgen. And he doesn't want this curse to be a part of any other member of his family. I have talked about how much I dislike Gen, but this is the one thing I truly sympathize with him with. I always think back to a scene from, you know, I've said, you guys probably know this, I love the Lord of the Rings films. Love those movies. And there's a scene from the Two Towers where, you know, Gandalf has freed, the King of Rohan. What's his name? Anyways, Gandalf frees him from Saruman. And one of the first things he asks when he regains control is, "Where's my son?" And then Gandalf takes him to his son's grave, after telling him that his son is dead. And one of the things he and Gandalf have a talk. It's a very touching scene. And he says to Gandalf, "No parent should ever have to bury their own child." And then he just starts sobbing. It's a moment that I really just sympathize with because it's so true. No parent should ever have to bury their own child. It's such a sad, moment. And it's a moment that's a scene that's always stuck with me. And this is an example. Gen should not have to bury his son. And unfortunately, he will have to. So, for this one thing, I am sorry, Gen. I am sorry.
Our curse is also our greatest gift.
You present me with the most difficult choice of my life. As much as I want to exact swift and brutal revenge, I must honor my son's memory first. He cared for his people first and foremost. The Undertaker's pass goes underground below Northgate River. You must prevent the plague from being deployed while we evacuate our men, women, and children to Aderic's repose. We captured one of the Forsaken's dreaded bombing bats. I want you to fly the infernal beast as best you can and unleash hell upon those who seek to bring the plague to our people. Hurry!
The Alliance must endure.
So yeah. It's time to drop bombs. I was trying to come up with some kind of funny one-liner, like rain down something, and I couldn't think of one. We're gonna drop bombs on their heads. Iron bombs. Bombs away. Pretend those are not there at the moment. Actually, maybe they are. I think they actually might already be there waiting. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
All I do for Gilneas.
You have done well. Almost everybody managed to make it through. It's time to pack it in. Most of our people have made it through. It's your turn now. Take this torch. You're going to need it. The tunnel is full of nasty, knee-biting critters of the worst kind. Use it to keep them at bay. Speak to Krenin on the other side.
Gilneas will prevail.
So I have a bit of a funny story to tell about this particular quest. This was during a time when I wasn't entirely reading what I was supposed to do. Hold on a second. Let me take a moment to change something.
Nelly deals for a friend of the Grumble. He's like you. Smell.
There we go. Oops.
Beware of Yeti. Good fortune to all friends of the Grumble.
So, I used to look at, this and be like, oh, I just have to go this way and go over here. So I would actually try and go through here. I would fall. I would try and go through the water. I would make their way there. It wasn't until later that I realized, oh, wait, I'm supposed to actually read what I'm supposed to do and realize, oh, I'm supposed to go down here. This was back when I wasn't really, didn't really know what I was supposed to do.
It's still recharging.
Yeah. Back. Get back. Look at this tunnel. Look at how many rats are in here. Back. Back, I say. Back. Hi, Krenin.
We live another day.
You're here. Most everyone made it through, but now we're stuck here, surrounded by our own... dead. In our hurried escape for safety, we disturbed the resting homes of our ancestors. A grave sin, if you'll pardon the pun. It is tradition that a small memento be buried on top of a Gilnean's graveyard beneath the shallow earth. The stampede of people fleeing these tunnels has unearthed these mementos and angered the spirits. Find them and bring them to me. We'll see to it that the dead return to their eternal slumber. And we will do that and conclude the Worgen starting zone when we return. Seriously, we're pretty close to the end. Stay tuned.